What if you slide down to G? Use G minor pentatonic. Or G minor blues. And any of the other positions I've already showed you. Okay? So hopefully that gives you enough theory to understand that you don't have to go changing scales just because you're changing chords. Because remember, chords come from scales. Okay? They're derived from scales. So once you nail down, if you ask yourself, what scale is this chord coming from? If you can answer that question, then all you got to do is go find what the first degree of that scale is, which is what the one chord is going to be built on, and whatever your answer is for that, what's the one chord, then you can use that scale pretty much for all of the chords in that scale. Now, there is an exception to this rule, and that is if the chord progression moves outside of its original key. Okay, so for example, let's say I had this thing, right? And then D, and then E. Then what if I went to, let's say instead of A, all of a sudden there's a key change. I did this thing, and then all of a sudden, instead of going back to, it went to. So there was this thing. And then there was like drum roll, and everybody's, doing whatever, and then all of a sudden they go. Well, there's a key change. So just follow the key change. So, I was using my A minor pentatonic here. Now I go, okay, what's the key change? Well, now I'm going back to that B. I'm going to B now, so just use the B minor pentatonic. So that's, obviously if you have a key change, you move to the key that you're moving into. And there's another tip I should give you, which is if you're using a chord that's outside the key, okay, which in blues, we're kind of getting off into the weeds here, because in blues you're really not going to have this kind of thing, or rarely. So, this is more like jazz stuff. But let me just say for the record, obviously if you have a chord that is not part of the key that you're soloing in, you're going to need to follow that chord. Okay, so let me see if I can give you an example. I could be going like this. Well, on this thing, it's a A flat dominant seventh that resolves to an A dominant seventh. It's really just like a passing chord. Well, if you play the A minor pentatonic over an A flat dominant seventh, to use my best English, it ain't going to sound exactly right, okay? But since it's really a passing tone in this example, it would be fine. Just go ahead and play your A minor pentatonic. Or the A blues, okay? But here's the thing, and this is like a really, this is not a real world example, but it's going to explain my point, which is, okay, let's say you're doing this A thing, right? And then instead of going to the 4 chord, you went to this D sharp thing. That just sounds so funky. That was not going to happen. But the point is, D sharp is not in the key of A, this D sharp chord, so you wouldn't be able to play your A over that D sharp chord. So anyway, I'm kind of trying to get to this point. If the chords that are in the progression are all in the same key, find the one chord of that key and then use that scale to use for your entire solo. That's the way I do it. Okay, there's other schools of thoughts that say you follow the chord changes and you basically adapt. If you're playing a D minor chord, you play a D minor scale. If you're playing an E minor chord, you play an E minor scale. If you play an A, and there's that whole school, which is, some people can do that. I personally find that confusing. So I just find the one chord. I try to group all things together and try to find a common ground. Okay, and you can do whichever one you feel more comfortable with. Okay, let's talk about some chord progressions. We're going to talk about the 12-bar blues. Okay, and the 12-bar blues is essentially made up of 3 different chords. Now, and when we say bars, we're talking about measures. Okay, and the measures are normally divided into beats of 4. Okay, so like 4 time would be a quarter note gets a beat, and there's 4 quarter notes per measure. We're talking about 12 bars of 4 beats. Okay, so let me count it for you. 1, 2. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 2, 3, 4. 3, 2, 3, 4. 4, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Whoopsie. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. So what I'm doing is I'm counting off the beats and also the measures. So 1, let me do it slowly for you. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 2, 3, 4. 3, 2, 3, 4. 4, 2, 3. Now switch to the 4 chord. 3, 4. 2, 2, 3, 4. Back to 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 2, 3, 5 chord. 1, 2, 3, 4 chord. 1. Whoopsie. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then back to your 1 chord. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5 chord. 2, 3, 4. Now I'm going to give you a close-up of that. Okay, we got the 1 chord for 4 bars. 1, 2, 3. 3rd bar. 4th bar. Now let me show you kind of exactly what I'm doing here. I'm making a power chord with these 2 fingers, and I'm basically using my pinky finger to add this note. So I have that sound, and then I slide it up, and then back down. So I've got this. Then I'm going to switch it, that exact same finger pattern, just go from the 5th and 6th strings to the 4th and 5th strings. Now back to the 1st position, or the 1 chord. Now I'm going to move it to D, just for 1 bar. Did I say D? I meant to E. And now I'm going to move back to the 4 chord, and then to the 1 chord, and then back to my 5 chord, just for 1 bar, and then back to that 1 chord. And that's the basic 12-bar blues with that kind of shuffle.